First tonight, several new details just coming into the newsroom on last night's officer-involved shooting in Clear Creek Township. The chief there telling us Officer Eric Ney is still in critical condition tonight. Ney was shot while responding to a domestic violence call on North State Route 48 last night. Police have also identified the suspect who was shot and killed by another officer as 65-year-old Mark Evers. Allison Walker is live now after speaking with police today. And Allison, did they have an update on Officer Ney?
Yes, well, Megan, the Clear Creek Township Police Chief tells me that Ney is in the ICU right now with severe wounds. Ney was shot in the head last night as he and another officer were responding to the incident. Police say this is the first officer-involved shooting in the department's near 50-year history, and now they're asking for the public's prayers.
I want to emphasize there's still severe wounds. He is breathing on his own today. They did have him on an apparatus last night, but he is breathing on his own today. But he's still got quite a fight to go.
Now, Allison, I know you've been out talking with people today. Is the community doing anything to support Officer Ney right now?
Yes, Megan, I spoke with the owners of 937 Inc. and they're selling shirts in honor of Officer Ney's bravery and to show solidarity. All funds raised will be going to his family, and to order a shirt right now, just head to 937inc.com and click on the Pray for Ney tab. But be sure to tune in tonight at 6:30 on Fox 45 to learn more about the details that led up to this tragic situation.
Allison, thank you. A woman's body was recovered out of the Great Miami River in Miamisburg this morning. Montgomery County Dispatch says a 911 caller reported the body in the river. The person's not been identified yet. Earlier this week, you may remember the body of 35-year-old Cole Estes was pulled out of that same river after a multi-day search. Fire officials are continuing to encourage everyone to be careful around any body of water, especially rivers. Five Rivers Metro Parks are investigating. Jalen Walker was laid to rest today. The 25-year-old black man was killed in an officer-involved shooting when police say he fled a traffic stop in Akron. He was shot more than 60 times and was unarmed when police opened fire on him. Police say a gun was found in Walker's vehicle, and officers say he fired it from that vehicle during the car chase. Now, this has spawned weeks of protest in Akron, and today has been declared a citywide day of mourning. The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations is investigating. They're checking for criminal wrongdoing by the multiple officers involved. Governor Mike DeWine has declared a state of emergency in Brown and Claremont counties today. That's after last week's severe storms and tornadoes that resulted in damages and power outages. So this is going to allow the counties to keep getting the state resources they need.
Meanwhile, here at home, a nice, quiet, sunny, warm day for us in the Miami Valley. Is that going to stick around, hopefully, Natalie?
For most of us, yes. Right now, we do have a couple of thunderstorms that have managed to pop up across the area as we do have a front pushing its way through. So let's go ahead and zoom into where we do have a thunderstorm. Actually, right now over Ansonia, you can see pushing its way southeastward, so making an impact to the Loramie Township area. Some light rain for you. Newberry Township about to see some light rain from this storm pushing its way through. Nothing is severe, but some heavier rain, some lightning, potentially some gusty winds. You can see a stronger storm made its way through northeastern Logan County. That has since pushed off to the east, and otherwise we have a few light showers around. Closer to home over the Bethel area, had a light shower too, but the Dayton area is sitting quiet right now, and temperatures are in the mid-80s. A little cooler to the north, some rain-cooled spots like Bell Fountain at 77 degrees, 85 in Springboro right now. But for tonight, skies do start to clear out. A little fog possible tonight with lows dropping into the lower 60s. Coming up, I'll have the rest of the week forecast and when some bigger rain chances make their way in.
Natalie, thank you. June's inflation rate has hit yet another 40-year record high. The Labor Department said today that consumer prices in June were 9.1% higher than last year. That's the biggest 12-month increase since December of 1981. It's 0.5% higher than the year-to-year consumer price index was in May. Prices also rose 1.3% from May to June. The president says today's numbers don't take into account the recent drop in gas prices. Now, the Biden administration is proposing changes to the federal student loan system that would help keep interest and principal separate. Megan's at the Now Desk, so how exactly would this work?
Well, Adam, this proposed rule would limit the number of ways interest can be added to a principal balance. It's known as interest capitalization, and right now it can happen in a number of ways. But the end result is always the same in increasing debt, as borrowers have to pay interest on previously accrued interest. Now, there are some times where interest capitalization is required, like when a different period ends. That won't change, but the rule would stop some other triggering events in place right now. If the change makes it through a formal review process, it's going to take effect as early as next summer.
The Valley School District Police Chief officially stepping down from the town city council. The city council accepting his resignation today. Chief Pete Arenando's role in the police response to the massacre at Robb Elementary School has been under intense scrutiny after it was released that it took police more than an hour to confront that gunman. 19 children, 2 teachers were killed in that. And this also comes as new surveillance video was leaked yesterday. It shows the gunman walking down a school hallway and police gathering outside the classroom but taking no action. One officer even calmly getting hand sanitizer. Parents of the young victims are angry they didn't get to see this first, and you can hear children screaming and gunfire in the video. Now, we're not going to show you that footage out of respect for the families. Parents of victims in that school shooting, as well as mass shooting survivors all over, demanding Congress to ban assault weapons at the Capitol building today.
My little girl fought there at the school. So she couldn't no more.
What if the gunman never had access to an assault weapon?
They want change so others don't have to live through a mass shooting or deal with losing a loved one. Democrats in Congress pushed for an assault weapons ban in the latest bipartisan gun bill signed into law, but couldn't get Republicans on board.
And the first round of voting is now underway in the UK's race to choose a new prime minister. There are 8 members of the Conservative Party who got enough support from colleagues to make it onto the ballot, but it's now down to 6. They all want to replace outgoing prime minister and former party leader Boris Johnson. The Conservative Party's 180,000 members will vote, and the winner is going to be announced September 5th. They will automatically become prime minister.
A brand new grocery store now open in the Fireblocks district of downtown Dayton. Elise Coulter takes us inside Tony and Pete's and shows us why it's so needed in that part of town.
Okay, I'm so excited. Guys, you've got to try Tony and Pete's. Look at this. This is the size of their sandwiches and their menu. Yeah, I know the words are backwards. I'm going to apologize ahead of time, but that's okay because if you come down here, they're not going to be backwards for you to check them out. They have great cold cut sandwiches, and not only that, say you're heading out to the Levitt Pavilion to have a good time on a Friday night, you guys can stop here, take drinks with you, and even get some snacks to go along the way. Now, this is one of the first grocery stores here in the downtown area. It is something that downtown Dayton has needed for a really long time. So they've got some snacks going on, they got some goodies, but also you want to make sure that you come out and enjoy those amazing cold cut sandwiches because it is such a great thing for these folks to be down here, and they're really committed to making the Dayton community just a little brighter these days.
All right, thanks so much, Elise. And this week we are teaming up with For Love of Children to provide food to those in need. It all kicks off tomorrow at the Dayton Mall next to DSW. This food drive is all about helping to provide food to the Dayton Food Bank as they work to ensure area kids don't go hungry during the summer months while school's out of session. So here's how you can help. Check out this list up on your screen right now. You can see some of the items that are needed include ramen noodle soup cups, macaroni and cheese cups, potato chips, peanut butter, oatmeal packs, and much more. Now you're going to be able to drop all this off starting tomorrow and then again on Friday.
Some lawmakers are looking for new ways to get around the Supreme Court's ruling on abortion. After the break, we'll explain what changes they're calling for.
And a Columbus man has been arrested and charged in a case that shocked the nation and even outraged President Biden. Still ahead, how Ohio's Attorney General is reacting after questioning the story's legitimacy.
And we have a few showers around this evening, but I'm tracking our next big chance for rain coming up. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
The Department of Justice has created a reproductive task force. The group will monitor and evaluate state and local legislation and enforcement to see if they infringe on a person's ability to get reproductive care. It's also meant to protect patient privacy and access to emergency contraception. This comes after President Biden recently signed an executive order to protect abortion and privacy rights and called on the department to take more action. Now, in that news conference that the president held to sign that executive order, he expressed his outrage that a 10-year-old girl from Ohio reportedly traveled to Indiana to get an abortion after Ohio's heartbeat bill went into effect.
10 years old, raped, 6 weeks pregnant, already traumatized, was forced to travel to another state. Imagine being that little girl. I'm serious. Just imagine being that little girl, 10 years old.
And now Gerson Fuentes of Columbus has been arrested and charged for raping that 10-year-old girl and impregnating her. Tonight we're hearing from Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost, who questioned the legitimacy of this case just days ago.
Look, nobody had ever talked to the survivor. We didn't know who she was. How can you believe or not believe somebody that you have never even talked to? My heart is broken that an innocent 10-year-old girl was raped. After he's convicted, he deserves to spend the rest of his life in prison.
Now, A.J. Yost also adding in that Fox News interview that the young rape victim would have met the Ohio heartbeat abortion ban's exception for medical emergencies. Well, some big votes are scheduled at the Capitol building this week as members of Congress look for ways to push back against the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. 83 Democrats sent a letter to President Biden asking him to declare a public health emergency. But some Republicans cite polling that most Americans want at least some restrictions.
This extremist partisan court is really overstepping the bounds of its authority.
We all remember Bill Clinton, who said he wanted to see abortion safe, legal, and rare. Today's Democrat Party doesn't want it rare. It wants as much abortion as possible.
So coming up at 6:30 over on Fox 45, we'll break down the drastic changes some members of Congress are calling for, plus what could still happen this week for abortion rights.
Well, a few showers, even a thunderstorm popping up across the Miami Valley as a front will be just off to the north of us. If you're in Miami County near the Piqua area, we have a thunderstorm pushing into your region. Some much needed rain. Thankfully, nothing is severe at this time and not really anticipating any of that as well. Our front, again, pushing just off to the north of us and will quickly skim its way through as we head into the rest of the evening. So lingering shower popping up as we head overnight, but otherwise high pressure keeping things nice and calm. Can't rule out some patchy fog overnight, but sunshine in the forecast for tomorrow. Heading into our Friday, we do have another storm system just off to our west. Now, this will increase our rain chances slightly by late into the day on Friday. It does look like a lot of this activity will skim off to our west, but we're going to monitor that system closely for our Friday. So that will increase our rain chances as we head into our Friday evening. So late into the day on Friday, we're monitoring the rain. If you need to mow the lawn, just keep that in mind. Sunday, that's when we track some bigger rain chances moving in. I'll have the details on that coming up.
Natalie, thanks. A new study shows the U.S. is responsible for more than $1.8 trillion worth of global income losses as a result of emissions. Now, that was between 1990 and 2014 and was studied at Dartmouth College. Now, the study's author says the research shows there is a scientific basis for climate liability claims. It could give other countries a legal basis to sue over economic losses from greenhouse gas emissions.
The biggest supermoon of the year is now visible, also known as the buck moon. The moon is now at its closest point to Earth in its orbit. Our viewer Charles sharing this photo of the moon. Such a great shot there. You can really see all the detail. And Kim capturing this great shot of the moon up close and personal. Thanks to both of you for sharing these with us. And if you weren't able to see it, don't worry. It's going to be visible through Friday morning. And we want to see your photos too, so grab your phone and scan this QR code. That's going to take you right to our Chime In page. From there, you can upload your photos or videos right to us. You could just see them right here on Dayton 24/7 Now News.
The West Carrollton Fire Department heading out to the Dayton Metro Library today for a water rescue program. So they showed their newly purchased water rescue equipment, talked about basic water safety to the community. Families and their young children were also able to see how all that equipment is used and what they can do if they're ever in trouble.
I think it's very important because a lot of people need to learn how to stay safe during these things that happen. I learned about what they use during the water rescues when the river rushes too high, they use the boat to rescue people.
And they mentioned one case where there was just a little too much rain and kind of pushed some vehicles into a lake, I think, or a creek maybe. And I didn't really think about that as a possibility, and it does seem like somebody really did need some help, and they were able to help them out.
The department also reminding residents not to drive through any place that has standing water in it because you just don't know how deep it is. And to always be careful of rivers because you can't always see the currents that are moving underneath. A Cincinnati volunteer first responder honoring her late husband tonight. COURTNEY Wheaton shows us how her nonprofit wants to help the families of other first responders.
I'm here at Fort Mitchell Baptist Church where a 5K for Stronger Than Yesterday is actually taking place next month. So earlier today I met with a first responder. Her name is Sam. Unfortunately, she lost her husband about 6 months ago to a very rare brain cancer. And she said when she was going through his death and figuring things out, it was really tough. There aren't a lot of resources for first responders when they deal with something like that. And in his honor, she wants to pay it forward. So we talked about the fundraiser, his memory, and how she plans to keep it alive. Back to you.
COURTNEY, thanks. Well, still no deal for Spirit Airlines as both Frontier and JetBlue are attempting a merger. Megan's at the Now Desk, so what's the holdup here?
Yeah, this is the fourth time actually that Spirit shareholders have had their merger vote pushed back. The vote on a potential deal with Frontier Airlines was scheduled initially for Friday, but both say they're trying to get more support from skeptical investors. Spirit officials say they prefer the deal with Frontier over JetBlue due to potential regulatory risks. However, JetBlue says its offer is higher and either option would face the same regulatory scrutiny. A merger with either would create the fifth largest U.S. airline. The new vote is scheduled for July 27th.
A story now from our partners at the Dayton Business Journal. One of the Dayton area's largest employers has acquired a management software company in Florida. Reynolds & Reynolds, a Kettering-based provider of auto dealership software and services, bought Motility Software, a dealer management software company. The two say they're joining forces to, quote, drive operational excellence at specialty dealerships across the country. Reynolds & Reynolds also has major operations in Salina and areas of Texas. We have more information right now about this on our website, Dayton247now.com. You can find this story and others like it under the Dayton Business Journal heading That is in the News tab. Well, there's a new exhibit at the Dayton Art Institute, and it's giving you a unique perspective on creation. Art for the Ages, Conservation at DAI shows the before and after of the painstaking process of bringing art back to life. Conservators look at the material of art, how it degrades over time, how to take care of it, and the ways to keep it going for the next generation. They also have to avoid anything that would radically alter the work. They say it's a lot like human beings.
You know, you go to the doctor for a checkup every year, and there's preventative medicine, which is a big part of conservation also. So ideally, you want to get to the point where you don't have to have surgery. So you think about your diet, you think about all those other things that you can avoid getting sick, and likewise for art.
So that exhibit is a range of artwork covering thousands of years, from sculptures to paintings from Asia, Africa, and the Americas. The museum is offering 2 more conservation demonstrations, giving some TLC to some rarely shown pieces. And you can find out when those demonstrations are taking place and learn more about the exhibit on our website right now. That again, Dayton247now.com. Just click on this story under the local heading.
All right, and a live look over downtown Dayton from our Kettering Health Sky Cam. Some clouds moving into the area. Natalie and I are out here on the exclusive Watson's Weather patio right now. The sun I was expecting, and it's just not here.
Yeah, kind of have a dark cloud right above us right now. But that will be the trend this evening. Can't rule out a stray shower for the evening, so don't be alarmed to get a little shower. Consider yourself lucky almost.
All right, the rest of the week, though.
Yeah, the rest of the week we are talking about some bigger rain chances eventually popping up. Until then, temperature-wise, we're hanging out in the 80s. 82 for the day tomorrow, 82 for the day on Friday. So that's actually with some lower relative humidity, but we will see some small rain chances Friday, and it's really Sunday, Monday time frame. Those cooler temperatures, lower 80s, still pretty warm due to the chance for some rain in the forecast. So temperature-wise, close to slightly below normal over these next several days. I'm going to have a look at that 7-day with the details coming up here in just a little bit.
Natalie, thanks. Well, if you're looking for a way to learn more about the history of peace and freedom, we've got you covered. Still ahead, how a new exhibit in one of the area's largest museums can teach you all about it. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now. Here's your stocks.
One of the Gem City's most notable museums is back open tonight. Taze Joshi, host of Good Day Dayton, takes us inside the International Peace Museum to show us their newest exhibit showing right now.
The International Peace Museum is back open in downtown Dayton. They've got a brand new location just off Courthouse Square. Lots of amazing exhibits all about peace from all around the world. And they've got some really cool temporary exhibits that you got to get out here and see. I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the Chicago Freedom Movement exhibit they have here, featuring pictures that were shot on color film in the 1960s, documenting some of the things that Martin Luther King did, Martin Luther King Jr. did, and all of the wonderful pictures. You can see them here. It really talks about that specific peace movement. This is just one of the great exhibits here right now at the International Peace Museum. And this exhibit's only here for a couple more weeks, till about the end of the month. So you gotta hustle, get out here quick. Right now, the museum is open Fridays and Saturdays. So get out here, see this exhibit, and of course, all the other exhibits here, including the Dayton Peace Accords and the Gandhi exhibit. Back to you in the studio.
Got a couple of showers, thunderstorms popping up across the area, mainly north of I-70 through the rest of this evening. If you are in Miami County, that's where we have the latest one pushing in. Nothing is severe, and in fact, by tonight, we clear out completely, and we'll see sunshine for tomorrow. Lots of it, highs back in the lower 80s, and that's with lower humidity. Thursday's actually looking really nice. Now, by Friday, we do have a small chance for rain late into the day, so plan around that. Saturday's looking good. Sunday, Monday, those are our two best chances for rain. Could see some heavier rainfall for our Sunday, Monday time frame. High temperatures will be in the lower 80s. That's with some humidity back in the mix. And then notice by next week, mid to upper 80s, but not unbearably hot, not unbearably humid over these next 7 days with that much needed rain back in the picture, especially Sunday and Monday.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, I need to mow my lawn. It's been far too long. It's probably been about 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
And got just like little patches of green there.
Well, hopefully, if you get a shower today, that may help it get a little bit greener. But if not, you'll have to wait Monday, Sunday time frame to get really a good soaking rain across the area. All
right, Natalie, thanks for being with us tonight. Remember, you can always connect with us on social media. We're headed over to Fox 45 next. We hope you'll join us there.